So one of the things you may notice today is I did turn on our closed captions. So how many of you, and in the chat, let me know that Zoom now has easy closed captions. So you can do closed captions in chat. So in the chat, how many of you guys know that? Oops. It's so cool, you guys. Jody, I know. I happened to just see it one weekend and I was like, oh my goodness. And so it's been one of my like new favorite things in life is that. So I will show you guys how to set it up, and then you guys can take this back to your staff and share it with them also. So let me. Here, David, I'm just going to drop the link for today in the chat. There you go. So there's today's resources. Okay. Yes, Google Meets does. Yes. And see, that's the cool thing is like Teams has had transcripts or closed captioning, and Google Meets has closed captioning. And so it's really nice to finally have Zoom have closed captioning. So I'm very excited that they finally offered that. So I will add this to your resources for today, but I'll quick show you how to turn it on, and then you can take it back to your staff and share it. Okay, so here we are with Zoom closed captions, and they're super easy to turn on and they're in paid accounts right now. And so if you have a paid account, the K-12 accounts are considered paid accounts. They are rolling out to free accounts. So you just go to your online, so go to the web, zoom.us, log into your account, click on settings, and then go to in meeting advanced. You're going to see closed captioning. You do have to have that enabled. And then you also have to click on the little check mark that says enable live transcription service. So once you've done that, then you can go to your Zoom and you will see the CC button, and live transcript will show up. And so you have to click on that, enable auto transcription. Once you've done that, it will automatically start transcribing. You are able to adjust your subtitles. And so there's a caret beside the closed caption button that gives you options to adjust the size of your subtitles. You can view your full transcript, which will show up on the side of your screen, or you can hide subtitles. When you're on a mobile device, it does look a little bit different. And so I do want to kind of point that out. You do not have the functionality to your subtitles show up at the bottom of your screen. When you are an attendee, you do not have the functionality to do anything other than view the full transcript by clicking on the three dots, and then it'll open up in a side in an additional window. If you are the host in a Zoom mobile, you can turn on and off the captions. So you do have that control, but that's only if you're a host. If you're an attendee, you do not have that functionality. And that is the kind of 2-minute version of how to turn on transcripts. So I will link this to today's resources so you have them and you can share this with your staff if you would like. So, all right, go back to our resources. And So today we're on day 2. There's a couple things. We're going to be talking about code.org and computer science today, but we're also talking about other resources. And so this is kind of one of those days where we're just going to be able to explore all those extension activities that you can use. And one of the things that I love about today is you're able to really check out some different things and try different ideas. So I'm going to pop back to our home screen, and when we scroll on down, you're going to see that your school district is listed there. And if you click on your school district, you will have your own Google Slides with some kind of reflection documents and planning documents, because I did promise you guys that you would be able to walk away with a plan. And I do want to make sure you do walk away with a plan. So go ahead, and I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes right now to go to your page or go to your plan. And I'm assuming most of you are in the same room. If you're not in the same room, let me know, because I can throw you in breakout rooms. And go ahead and reflect on day 1. And so we talked a lot yesterday about Microsoft. We talked a lot, or on Tuesday, about Google. And so, like, what do your staff need to know about? What do you want to share? And then how do you plan to share that? So it's always best if you kind of say, oh, at the next staff meeting, or I'm going to make a video. You just kind of have that little plan. And then finally, you're going to want to know what more is needed. And so maybe you do need to find some training, or maybe, just that kind of thing. And so we will give you time for that. So here's what I'll do for you guys. So if you go back to the home, so the home page for today, so there's the resources, and then you can scroll on down to collaborative documents. So there should be something for every district. If there isn't, yell at me and I will fix that. And the next thing I'm going to do is I've set up breakout rooms for each district. And I've enabled it so that you have choice to join them, so that you can pick your own. So when I open the breakout rooms, you should see the breakout room option show up either at the bottom of your screen you should see a join breakout room at the bottom of your screen, and then there is a breakout room for each district set up. So you can just hop in there. So I will open the breakout rooms right now. And if you want to go into a breakout room, all you need to do is click on the breakout room icon and go to that breakout room. So here we go. And if you need help, if you need some help with that, go ahead and let me know, and I'll just drop you in a breakout room that you need. So the resources are at the bottom of the home page. So here's the home page. I just dropped it in the chat. Then if you scroll on down, there's collaborative district documents that you can click on your district name. If you don't see your district name, then let me know, because I missed it. It's all me. So, okay. So I'm gonna pause recording, and I skimmed through. There's some great plans kind of percolating. So each day I'll give you some time to reflect, either at the beginning or at the end, depending on where we're at for time. And then on Tuesday next week, we'll make sure that you have kind of a plan moving forward for what you want to do. So let me go ahead and share my screen again, and we will launch into today. And I'm so excited about all of today, because it's the computer science and code.org resources that are just so much fun to use. So we are So here's the homepage. There's your collaborative documents for those of you that may have joined late. And today we're on day 2. We're expanding learner access to content, resources, and activities. And so there's a pretty good there's a good emphasis on code.org, but there's also a lot of other resources. And so I did ask you guys in the survey, like, who was using coding, and about 50% of you are doing some sort of coding activity in your districts, which is awesome. And some of you are using code.org, some of you aren't. There's lots of different resources that are out there. And I did not pull together a comprehensive list, but I pulled together some of the ones that are either really easy or have additional supports, or, you know, just those kinds of things to talk about today. If there's something that you know a lot about, feel free to drop resources in the chat and I will add them to our resources. So please go ahead and sign up and then sign in for our code.org training for today. And that's just a opportunity to share so that I can say that, yes, I did an admin meeting, and also it'll give me that opportunity to send you guys out some swag for being here. So I get to send out stickers. They're cool stickers. They're not the standard code.org stickers. So I'm excited about that. So anywho, so sign up and sign in, and then I'll send you stickers. So lots of different things to talk about. And so I added the Zoom closed captions here too. So if you want to share that PowerPoint, you can with your staff. I'm just not sure where to start.
So Julie, so basically we have to go into the sign up and then actually sign up and then sign in?
Yeah.
Okay, so sign up.
And then sign in.
We have to create our account then?
Right.
Yes. But that'll make it easier when we go in and look at the code stuff. So it's not a bad thing. So I'm going to touch on a couple of things. I'm going to touch on the Sphero thing first, not because there's any logic to it, but because it's just an upgrade. And this is something that Sphero is going to be at the upcoming TIE conference, so we're excited about that. And they are providing a 2-hour PD on Sunday, 2 hour, you know, so there's 2 sessions of it. There's a cost for that, but you do end up with a bolt out of the deal, so that's super exciting. One of the things that's really cool about Sphero is they are very environmentally conscious, and they are providing upgrades. And so, like, for a lot of us, we may have, like this last year, not used our technology as much just because of the social distance and the online learning and that type of thing. So if you have a series of Spark Plus robots, you can return the Spark Plus robots and get a new bolt for $99. And so it's a deal that they have going on. And so if you're interested in upgrading your Spark Plus robots to be bolts, that is an option. And I just wanted to make sure you knew about that, because sometimes, you know, they stop working, or you know, and you just want to you want to make sure that those things are out there. So the bolt upgrade program is just kind of a FYI. If you have Sphero Spark Pluses, you can upgrade them for $99. So it's
Julie,
a great.
what is the robot thing you're talking about? Can you tell us about that really quick?
Oh yeah, of course. So the Sphero is one of my favorites. It's the ball, round balls. Let me go to Sphero. And Sphero is it's the round robot. So let me scroll on down here to see if I can find one that's super cool. And you can, so this is a Sphero Bolt, and that is their new one. When you do the Sphero, and I'll show you the video real quick. The Sphero Bolt, or well, and the Spark before that, but the Sphero Bolt is waterproof. You can control its speed and distance, no, speed and time that it goes. And you can also program it on like a mobile device, but you can also program it on a Chromebook or Windows device too. Anything that you can Bluetooth it to. It is one of the more, because of the different ways that the programming works, you have a lot of different levels, and they have a lot of different resources for you. And so like they have really, they started out with kind of like as a like just a fun toy, and now they've really gone into promoting computer science and in education. And so we have a number of them at TIE that we've used in professional development, and they are really, really awesome. You can see they have the standards aligned resources here. So they're a really fun one. So how are any of you guys using Spheros in your schools? Aberdeen does, nice. What grades do you use Spheros with, Camille? Henry, Dale does, Dash, yes, Susan, elementary, nice. One of the nice things that I do like about Sphero is you can really go like across grade levels, as it has, that starts out with, you can draw, and then you can get into block programming, and then you can get into text programming. And so you have a lot of different variables there. They also provide you with some like kind of little tutorials and stuff like that. So yeah, so this is Sphero. Here's I'll drop it in the chat, and I can add more Sphero resources to the page when we're done today. So that's my little offshoot. So code.org, as you guys probably know, code.org is, our TIE is the code.org regional partner for South Dakota. And we do have professional development set up for middle school and high school for the summer. And then we're going to be setting up some computer science fundamentals and a deep dive for elementary school. And those are going to be, we're doing everything virtual this year, which I'm actually really excited about, because it allows us to not, I mean, it's fun to get together, but when we're doing these intensive trainings and you have to be gone a week, there's a lot of things you have to take into account, like who's going to take care of, stuff at home, and where are you going to stay, all that kind of stuff. And so this has been really exciting. Last year we did the Discoveries and Principles online, and then we also have an academic year program workshops that go along with this. And so once a month we've been meeting, and it's been incredible. Do I have anybody that's participated in the Computer Science Discoveries or Computer Science Principles trainings here? All right, so radio silence, I'm assuming that's no. So if you are looking to bring computer science into your district, code is a really great place to start, just because it gives you that basic starting point, and then you can expand from there. The curriculum is free, the resources, everything comes with it. And so if you go in and look at, if you click on the link here, I'll share this one with you. Well, and you guys are in code.org right now, so yay. So if you go ahead and click in, it's going to give you the information about how to apply for the professional development and the summer workshops. So there are scholarships available. So for teachers that can, that do qualify, you do need to commit to the year-long program and plan to teach in 21-22. The nice thing that goes along with the code is the year-long program, because each month we meet, we talk about, you know, kind of what will be next, we answer questions, we brainstorm, and I think my favorite is just hearing like different educators share how they've, you know, tackled this or tackled that. So I'm going to click on the top and go to the course catalog real quick so we can jump in and look at some of the resources. And so if you do code.org, you have a comprehensive K-12 program. CS Fundamentals is for elementary school, and there is a course for each grade, K through 5. And so when we click on this, you can kind of get a little bit more information here. We're looking at a lot of pre-reader resources in K1. Once you get into 2-3, you have, you know, it's getting to be, you know, more complex. And then 4-5, you start doing more projects and open-ended activities. The courses are, as you can see, you know, like we have 12 lessons for A and B. We go up to 18, 19 lessons for the upper grades. And so this is something that I've seen, like the librarian will integrate it into their content, or the computer teacher, and then in the classroom, teachers are able to use the lessons for centers and tie into their content area. Okay. So I'm going to quick drop us into a lesson so you can see what it's like, and I'm going to share this with you so you can see what's happening. So I'm going to go back to lesson 2, and I'm going to, so this is the drag and drop. I love happy maps and sequencing with Scratch, so we're going to do this one, and I'm going to share the link with you guys in the chat. So if you guys want to hop in, you can. You do not need to log in. And this is kindergarten. I like to start with kindergarten because it's kind of a confidence builder. But if you want to click around and pick another lesson or whatever, you can. So you get a lot of instruction. You're going to notice we have read aloud in our instructions at the top of the screen. And so for our younger students that, you know, are our pre-readers, we have that functionality. You're also going to notice that we don't have a lot of blocks. And so one of the really cool things is as we get older, we have more blocks, we have more options. And then when I make success, it tells me what I've done, and then I can say continue. The other really awesome thing is, as an educator, we have answers. And so even those of us that have experience with computer science, you don't always have time to do all the prep, or you don't have time to look at everything. There is a teacher panel with an example solution. And so I can always hop in and see a sample solution. So I have that functionality. So how many of you guys just clicked in and played that puzzle and were successful? You can chat, you can unmute. guys are so quiet today. Nobody played the puzzle? Ooh,
You
Susan,
lost me.
I lost you.
I couldn't figure out where to go, where to navigate to it.
Okay, so if I drop the link in the chat for this puzzle, so here I'll drop it back in again. Here's the puzzle. Go ahead and go. Susan, you've used code.org with K3. Yes, and they love it. I am so glad to hear that. It's very, what are some things that you notice about it when you use it with students? Very engaging. They have to figure things out. Yes. And that is one of the cool things, I think, when we're doing coding or computer science, is that computational thinking strategies, we really need to focus on problem solving and collaboration. And it is very engaging. There is on the teacher side, there is a lot of support, and not in a like you have to help them, but there's a lot of encouragement, I guess. So yeah, as you as a Tinker Time or Makerspace teacher, you don't help a lot, right? You provide that encouragement. Cool. Well, did anybody else get a chance to play the puzzle?
I get in there, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
Awesome. Okay. So when you're in there, Camille, do you use code in Aberdeen, Camille? Okay, I thought so. So when you're in, and this is what we have the kids do too. So you can read the instructions, and on this one of the things you notice is it asks you to click or snap the block to the bottom of the win run. And then when you click the win run, you can watch the program run, and then you can continue on. Nicole, I love that. Interesting that their perseverance is higher in this format. Yes, one of the things that I've seen is many students who struggle in a traditional classroom environment really shine here, because it's just a different way of thinking, and it's a different process. The other thing is there's different, I don't want to say rewards, but there's different, it's more like a game-like environment. And so they enjoy that. So cool. Well, I hope everybody had a chance to click in and play around with the code resource, and just to kind of see what that's like. I'm going to take us back to the course catalog real quick and look at CS discoveries, and then CS principles. And then in 2022, they're actually adding APCSA. So that's very exciting. So when we're looking at middle school, you have more problem solving. And so and the nice thing about the middle school curriculum is these are all the units that you have. And so you go through the problem solving. Oh, fun, Abby. Code Combat. That sounds really fun. There's a web development. There's interactive animations. There is a design process unit, a data and society unit, and then finally the physical computing unit. And so just like when we are in the computer science fundamentals work, you have an entire curriculum that you can go in and look at, from lesson plans to teacher dashboard. Yes, this is something they can do on the iPad. And so that is one of the things that is all, you can use it on Chromebooks, you can use it on iPads, all that. So yes. So that's the computer science discoveries. And then we'll take a quick look at computer science principles. And so where am I at? And so when we're in computer science principles, it is endorsed by the College Board. And this one, you end up spending more time doing things. You get into the JavaScript, which is on the AP test. You do computational widgets, which is really cool. And then there's also an internet simulator. And so these are all, and the week-long training that you get in the summer for both principles and discovery really go into the platform, go into the resources, and you spend a lot of time not teaching lessons, but going through lessons and planning how you would teach them. And so you come out with resources already prepared. So that's the code.org stuff, which is, I think, super fun. And I love that it's available. I think that's really, really nice. MakeCode is Microsoft. So how many of you guys have tried MakeCode before? Not? Okay.
Oops.
So MakeCode is Microsoft's online coding platform. And so you can see here that it's got Microbit, Circuit Playground Express, Minecraft, Mindstorms, Q, Arcade, and then Chibi Chip. And so the cool thing with this is, excuse me, you don't have to like have the microbit to be able to program in MakeCode. And so they give you all these really fun tutorials. You can do a new project and it will give you these blocks. It's all block based. It's all browser based. And so I shouldn't say it's not all block based. You can switch to JavaScript if you want. But it's all browser based, so you don't need to download anything. And then when you do put the, so I'll do a show icon. I'm going to put it on start. Actually, I'm going to put it on forever so that it always stays. And so there we go. And it gives me the simulator over on the right. There's just really, microbits are super cheap. And so if you do want to buy the actual devices, they're like 15, 20 bucks a piece. So you can, you know, this is, and they're super sturdy. They were designed by the BBC in Europe for, I think, 7th graders, and they're about the size of a credit card. And they're, like I said, they're designed to be abused, which, I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to drive over them or anything, but they're very fun. So this is Microbit, but this is MakeCode. And when we play around in MakeCode, period, if you do stuff with Minecraft, you can go in and connect MakeCode and the coding with Minecraft. And so I don't know, for those of you that aren't familiar with Minecraft, it's okay, I'm kind of scared of it, but I've gone through a bunch of PD and so I'm dangerous with it. And you can do the programming, and so it'll like generate, you can program it to generate a whole herd of pigs or a whole building or a fence or whatever you need. And you don't have to do that individual block placement. And so it's like magic. So I think that's pretty fun. Arcade is really cool. And that's one of their newer resources. You can go in and make games. And so it's all of these game maker guides, and they have tutorials and multi-part tutorials and stuff like that. And so that for me is really fun because so many of our learners love games. So MakeCode is one of my favorites. So I'll drop it in the chat for you guys and let you take a look at it. I did give you some additional resources for MakeCode in terms of kind of the documentation and Minecraft and that kind of stuff. So you can check that out too. So I'll just give you a couple minutes to explore the code and the MakeCode real quick, and then we'll come back and keep rolling. touch on a couple more things, and then we'll take a quick break. So one of the things, and this is something I just learned about last night, you guys, Coder-Z. I was in a workshop on, computer science resources, and Coder-Z is a program that it's a coding and robotics curriculum, and they are offering, there's a free option here. And so if you click on the PowerPoint, it'll give you a free option. They've partnered with Amazon, and it's a cyber robotics challenge, and you're going to code one of the Amazon robots to deliver your friend's birthday present. And so this is a free activity, but then they're also providing the virtual robotics learning modules to Title I schools. And so you can see if your school is eligible or not by going in and typing in your school name, and then it'll tell you if your school is eligible or not. And so this is one of the things that I have not spent a ton of time with, but for those of you that were looking for expansions to coding opportunities, you can, it's for grades 4 through 12, but you can move in, and you have your choice of your course for 6 months for up to 150 students. So I thought this is kind of a fun opportunity just to share with you guys and make sure that you knew about it, because I thought it was kind of cool yesterday when I learned about it. So that is Coder-Z, and you can see that it's aligned with the various standards and access and everything. And so it's one of those things that, there's just so much coding stuff out there right now, it's kind of hard to even keep track of all of it. Another one that TIE partners with is cyber.org, which previously was NYSERC, and they changed to cyber.org about it'll be a year ago in June, I think. These guys they do an awful lot with microbits. They do an awful lot with cyber education. And so when we go in, they have an entire free curriculum, and it is K-12. And so when you go here, you can, browse their curriculum, and then you can also sign up for access to their curriculum. And so I'll log in real quick and show you what it looks like. All of their courses are on Canvas. So when you're using them, you have access. All their core content is in Canvas. But so you go in, you see they have a ton. So I have access to all their courses, and you can request. Some of the ones that I've used extensively are the cyber literacy courses. They fit really, really well within our technology standards. And so when you're looking at, we've used the CyberBot before. We have the CyberBot, and you can go in and order those and utilize those. And a lot of them don't even require that you have a device. You can use them without the device. They've also added science classes. And so when we pop in here and look at science, this is for elementary students. And so you've got science for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and it's phenomenon based with foundational cyber concepts. And so this is another one this one is pretty new, actually. This one is one that they were developing last year. And so this is all pretty new to check out. So just so you know that those are a couple of resources if you're looking for additional content, those are out there. And then the last thing I'll touch on before we take a break is the AR/VR resources, because a number of you guys had asked about AR/VR, learning more about that in the classroom. And so one of the things I always struggle with is what is AR, what is VR, what is merged reality? And so I pulled this from, I think, Kathy Schrock, because it does help. So here's the differences between AR, VR, and merged reality. So VR is you're in a completely digital environment. You have no sense of the real world. AR is when you have that overlay. And so AR, when I think about Google Glass, back when you know those were like all hip and cool, you would wear those and it would give you information on your screen to enhance what you're seeing. And then merged reality is when things are intertwined. And so you have manipulation of both your physical and your virtual environment. And so those are things like some of the gaming systems that are out there now will act in that way. Kathy Schrock is you know, amazing. And she's put together a number of different resources on AR and VR. And these, while they're older, they do such a good job of explaining the concept. So if you're trying to promote it, you know, you're like, this is so cool, I've seen it at a conference or whatever, and I want to do it in my classroom, and you need to explain it to admin, these two articles do a really great job of that. There are some, I dropped in a number of apps. And so one of the things, like if you do have iPads, it's just a really great way to use those. Google Expeditions are another resource that can really expand your access to content. Google Translate is, they have an augmented reality feature, so you can translate photos, which is really fun. And then we can kind of jump into some of the additional resources like Metaverse, which is an app and an AR game creation tool. And so there's Metaverse playlists here, which people, these are things that people have put together. And so you can come in and you can see, you know, what's going on. And then there's these breakouts, which is a collection. And so you don't even have to, you can just go ahead and click in and check out any one of these. And so these are things that other people have made and shared. And so you do have to have the Metaverse app. And then once you do that, you can scan the link and you'll be able to do that. So this is great if you have iPads or other devices that you can do that with. HP Reveal is super fun because it essentially gives you that opportunity to take a picture and use that. I'm trying to think. So the Smithsonian has stuff. Google Spotlight has storytelling with VR. Discovery VR gives you resources. So just so many things that you can use. And then merge cubes are really popular a year or so ago, and they are still fairly popular. And so you have some free apps that are nicely available, and then there's also paid apps. So those are just kind of some things. If you're thinking about AR, VR, this is a getting you started. It's making you dangerous, and we can obviously talk more if you need more. So it is 10 o'clock. So I'm going to give you guys just a 10-minute break to get up and stretch and get some coffee and use the restroom. And we will come back. If you have questions or anything, feel free to drop them in the chat and I will answer them, or you can unmute. So see you at 10 after. See what else we can learn about. So I'm super excited to share with you next the Flipgrid resources. So we're going to take a few minutes and look at Flipgrid. In the chat, do let me know who's using Flipgrid, how you're using Flipgrid, all that, because I love Flipgrid. So it's always fun to hear who's using it. Ooh, Gretchen, what do you do for student, what do you do? How do you use it for student engagement? Like embedded in assignments or what do you do with it?
So, since our kiddos are all over the United States remote, right? So a lot of it is just, checking in, hey, how are you? This is what we're going to do this week for assignments. This is where you need to go in Google Classroom to get your resources, just kind of a touch base type of thing. It has been difficult for me, and it's just because I try to learn it myself to really understand how to reach out and engage those kids further and get them to start responding to the Flipgrids and to the questions and different things. So I would like to learn more about that.
Nice. And we can kind of touch on that in terms of like how to do that engagement. Oh, Todd, I love that you're using it for playing assessments in band. And Jesse, you use it to record speeches. So you have a 10-minute limit, which is awesome. Sherry, you use it extensively. David, you use it. That's so awesome. I'm glad to hear that some of you guys are using this because it is such a great resource. So when we're in, looking at Flipgrid, so I did drop in just some resources for you guys to kind of get started, and also some integration ideas, just because for those of us that, I need examples, and so I like to have examples. So if you don't need examples, more power to you. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to Flipgrid by clicking on the very first link on that page, and you do and it'll automatically log me in because I have an account and I was just in it, I think, this morning. But I'll show you on a guest browser what it looks like and kind of how it looks if you don't have an account and or if you are a student. And so students do not need to create accounts. And if you're a student, all you have to do is enter the join code and go. Students do need to log in with either a username or password that you assign or an email address, a Microsoft or Google email address. And so you have a couple options, especially if your kids don't have email addresses yet, that type of thing. As an educator, if I don't have an account, I can create one, super easy. Once I have created one, I can either log in with my Microsoft or my Google login. And so, and then I can go ahead and click on that. And then it's going to ask me to log in with my Microsoft account. And now I'm in. So as an admin, and so the other thing, like if you're using mobile devices, you can still access the admin in the browser. So you do have some functionality there. So this is what it all looks like when you get in. We have our discussion, we have discovery, we have activity, which is basically just shows all of my activity. And Flipgrid's fun because they give you awards, and so you can see what achievements you've earned. Mixtapes, which are collections, and so mixtapes are kind of a throwback for those of us that used to record things off the radio on actual cassette tape. You can create a mixtape, and so you could like make a mixtape for a student and just put in their responses, or you could pull together a collection of responses that you want to share out. Lots of different options. Shorts are little videos that you can make and share super easy. This is one of the things that I use extensively. I love shorts. Have any of you guys used shorts before? Okay, so then we'll look at shorts because it's like life-changing. I'm going to stop my video because I can't use shorts with my video. So you can see that I have a whole collection of shorts. Some of them, a lot of them are pretty quote unquote short. I'm going to go ahead and click on record a short, because basically this is a up to 10-minute limit for recording a video. You have the functionality to record your screen. So if you can upload a video, if you have a video already, it stores in the cloud and it's virtually instantaneous. So here I can flip which camera I use, though I only have one camera. I can click on the grid and I can upload a clip. I can only record my mic. I can mirror my video. I can mute, and I can also record my screen. On the other side, I have effects. And so here I can add in filters. I can add in a photo. I can add in frames. So I can add in a whiteboard if I want. So I have a lot of different options here. So when I click on the grid, and I'm going to record my screen because that's what I end up doing most of the time. And so this is much like, just like any screen reader that or screen recorder that we've been using. You click on start screen recording, your picture shows up in the lower right. You can close that. So boom, I'm no longer in the video. And then you can pick what you want to record. And so you can go from your entire desktop application window or a Chrome tab. I'm going to do a Chrome tab. I don't really have many open. So there we go. We have a new tab. So we're going to do this new tab. I'm going to say share. I'm like, welcome. We're going to demonstrate how to go to TIE.net/conference and sign up for the TIE conference. And so I can bring up a web page, or I could have it already up, which would be better. I can click on, register here, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to see I have this, I'm sharing this tab from admin.flipgrid.com. I can say stop. And it will play back my video for me. I can now add more. I can also trim. So if there's stuff that I'm like, yeah, I don't want any of this, I just want to start here, I can do that. And then I can say delete. Oops, cancel. I don't want to delete, I lied. I say confirm. So I've trimmed what I want out of there. I can now add more if I want. And when you go back to add more, you go through the whole process. So here I could upload a clip. I could add in the whiteboard. I have all those options. I can click on next. Now I can take a selfie. I can upload a photo, or I can just select a frame. And many times I select a frame. I can also add a title or a description. You can say confirm. It's going to upload this video for me. And it's generally super fast. It does depend on your internet speed and how long you made it. So now you're going to see that I have a little video. I can just copy this and share it out so anybody can watch it. I can tweet it. I can send it to Google Classroom. I can send it to Microsoft Teams. I can embed it somewhere if I want. I can download it. And then I can also generate a QR code. So that fast, I was able to make a video that I could then turn around and share out or use elsewhere, and it's stored in the cloud. So I've been really appreciative of Flipgrid Shorts, just because they're I know the Flipgrid because I've done a lot of Flipgrids, and so it's easier for me to be able to say, oh yeah, this is really, an easy way to do this. So that is one of the tools that can be really helpful for you, because it's just right there. Oh, so David's talking about his students don't want to record a response. They'll comment, but not record. That's a really, that's a common problem. And I have a couple solutions for that. And if you guys have solutions for that, drop it in the chat. So let's go back to discussions. Actually, I lied. Let's go to Discovery. So how many of you guys are using Discovery Library?
Before we move on, quick question. On the Flipgrid, you just showed the shorts, but can you reuse? Because I noticed I made a couple Flipgrids and I wanted to reuse them again, but can you repost those at a different time? Because I couldn't figure out how, I could never figure out how to repost one that I've already done.
Yes, you can. So let's talk about Discovery real quick, because that'll get us a resource, and then I'll show you how you can reuse what you've done and I mean, I reuse my stuff all the time. So yes.
Okay,
So
cool.
Discovery Library, are any of you guys using the Discovery Library? You can unmute, you can chat, you can just stay silent and I'll assume you're not. Okay, so Discovery Library is, and I just love this, these are prepared Flipgrid topics. And so they are all over the place. So you can search, as you see here, but you can also browse. And so they have some featured ones. They have topic of the day, they have wonder of the day. So if any of you use Wonderopolis, they have a wonder of the day that's already prepared. And so it's a link to an article, link to a video. And if we, so this is what is an amoeba? This is something now that I can add this to a topic that I have already established. And so I can add it as an individual topic or I can add it as a group. And so when I go to my groups, I can say, I'm going to do my demo group and set next. And now this has been added. And so when I go to my topics in my groups, I already have this prepared Flipgrid for me that has all of this that I can just share out with my learners. And so I love that I can come down here and I can browse subjects. I can look at trending topics. There's partners, these are all free. So many of these resources are paid resources. Like I talked about code.org, which is free, but code.org is one of the partners. Breakout EDU, Buncee, lots of art museums, Detroit Institute of Art. So basically anything that you can think of, you are going to be able to find prepared content from partner groups. But then it gets even better. So say that you did a really great project, you can share it to the Discovery Library. You can also search what other people have shared to the Discovery Library. And so like earlier this last year, my youngest was in AP Lit and they, went virtual and couldn't do the discussions. And so they ended up doing discussions on Flipgrid. And it was so cool because I could hear my son talking in his room and then I'd hear other voices and it sounded like a conversation. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, Flipgrid for Lit. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And so it wasn't the same as being face-to-face, but it let them have those conversations. So what I love is you have a lot of language learning in here. You have, if you click on the subjects, you can, pick virtually any subject. You can also go in by community, so you can limit by grade level, or you can just straight up search topics. So that's the Discovery Library. So if you haven't used Flipgrid yet, or if you're thinking, I just feel like I'm not using it to its full capacity, check out the Discovery Library because there's so many ideas. So now let's go look at discussion and kind of talk about discussion, and that's all the things. So when I'm in Discovery Library and when I'm in Flipgrid, they've changed their layout. So groups is a collection of topics. And so like you can see, I just added this, what is an amoeba topic? And I can see what group it is in. And so you can, like, if I was a teacher in a classroom, I could potentially, like, if I was a middle school teacher, I could make a group for every class period. And then I could put my topics in and share my topics around. So David, I think it was David, asked me a question about how do I reuse topics? How do I, share them out? So when I'm in my Flipgrid, so I'm in my demo topic, I can go in here and I can say, okay, over on the right, I have actions. Here is an option that I can duplicate this topic. So I can duplicate this topic to another group if I wanted to, or I could put it in the same group. So if I say duplicate, it'll spin. And now I have 2 of these in my demo group. I could also put it other places too, if I wanted to. So when you go to the actions, that's where you have your duplicate option. You can also export your data, which is awesome if you need to like keep track of interactions and use that as grading. You can do that. So how do you get interactions with the kids? That's a really great question. And I don't have all the answers by any stretch, but some of the things that I've been seeing are, first of all, tell them that they don't have to record themselves. They can record the wall. They can record a page. They don't have to record themselves. So it doesn't have to be the talking head type of thing. They can also always record. And so when I go to record a response, I need to stop my video. Sorry. So when I go to record a response, you're going to see that I have the same options that I did when I did a short. So I can always record my screen, give them that option. Say, hey, you can record your screen. And you don't have to record. You don't have to record an image. You also can just record mic only. And so there won't be a video associated with it. Sorry, mic only. There won't be a video associated with it at all. It'll just be the voice. So you do have some options there. I really like using the screen capture because then I can bring up a website or I can bring up a piece of text and share that much more easily. So I guess I would give options in that manner. The other thing when we're doing our, like with my son's AP Lit class, they had a assignment that they would respond to, they would respond in their group. And so they were in groups. So they had topics for each group, so that they would say, okay, this is, group 1, and that's how they did that. So any other ideas for how to get the kids to respond to your Flipgrids?
Hey, Jesse, how do you get them to respond then? I mean, I've told them it's part of their grade, but I actually don't say it's a grade. I say it's extra credit. I give the Flipgrid as an extra credit just to entice them. How do you do it?
They won't do it for extra credit.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, for it's speech class, it's a requirement for graduation. So it's mainly upperclassmen, and they respond because of the fact that it's not optional.
So some other things that you might want to consider are so I'm going to edit this topic. So you'll see the pencil, so I can edit. I can make this topic, I can turn on moderation. And so only you can see the videos then. And so if you do want to just do a quick check-in with your learners, or even their speeches, if they're not comfortable sharing with the whole group, and it's something you're initially just trying to get that warm up going, turn on topic moderation, and then the videos will not be public. They will not be able to be seen by other students unless you share them. And so that can be I have a number of teachers that do different, like assessments this way, reading records this way, just check-ins, like, hey, how are you doing, kind of thing, those kinds of check-ins. So that can be an option too, to help. So Jesse, when you do their speeches, are they public or are they moderated?
I use the moderated.
Okay, yeah.
option.
So that help, that, I'm assuming that helps them then in the sense of being more comfortable with sharing.
Yes, and then as we progress, then when we get back, I'll use it more for practice once we're in the classroom and not remote,
Mhm.
and that way they can use it to practice giving peer critiques.
And it is an excellent resource for peer review and peer critiques. And that's another thing that, you can, like you said, kind of embed, once it becomes more of a comfortable space and a safe space, to be able to go back and do that. So thank you for sharing that. All right, so that is Flipgrid. And so I did give you guys kind of some additional resources here, just, some ideas that people have used. And so you have those. And let's go back to today. And so Minecraft is the last thing that I was going to touch on this morning. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of explore reflection time. So I know a number of you commented, like our kids use Minecraft, or that you're using Minecraft with your students. Minecraft EDU is amazing. And so it is free. It's part of our Microsoft package that you get with your K-12 or your education Microsoft. And they have done a phenomenal job of providing resources and lessons. And so they've got lesson plans that you can go in and explore. So when I was playing with it, I was in a chemistry where you were actually doing chemical or science experiments and doing making chemical reactions. And so it was like so fun. And you're thinking, it's just a different way to interact. So when you go in and check out, you're going to see that they have lots of lessons. They also provide, Microsoft has some really amazing training resources. And so they have the Minecraft Teacher Academy that you can go through, and it'll guide you through. At TIE, we have a couple people that are Minecraft trained, and so we can also provide you with support if you wanted to implement Minecraft in your classroom. Yes, of course, sorry. So one of the things that you do need to do is you do need to install the Microsoft or the Minecraft. So when you get started with it, you do have to install the Minecraft EDU option. But then, and this is the things that blew my mind, that I had no idea. On EDU, it's a safe platform. As an educator, you can do you can control when you make assignments, like what the settings are. You can do collaborative work. You can do even work across districts if you want. So you can have, like gaming or Minecraft nights with other schools. I'm trying to think what else to tell you about fun Minecraft things. So when you click on that Get Minecraft Education Edition, it's going to step you all the way through to how to do it. And so you do not, as long as you have the Minecraft, yes. So Marcy, that's a great question. I would really, so when we go to the Get Trained here, there is this Learn to Play right here. And that is the Minecraft, or that is the Microsoft Education Center Teacher Academy. And so when you go through this, it really does give you that that kind of that back end of, this is why this is really important, but then also the how to do it and practicing your skills. And so it's an excellent program. I really enjoyed that. So this would be what I would recommend to kind of help them get started, because it takes you from everything from downloading it to, using it with your students. So it's a great opportunity. So that's a good question. Thank you.
Excuse me a second. I just, I have an 11-year-old and I think this would be perfect for him. Does it allow me to just use it for one kid and, you know?
Yeah, no, it really is something that you don't have to have a whole class. And it could be something that you as an educator, just start out with a small group of kids, or the test group that lives in your house. Isn't that
Well,
what the
that's what
metaphor-
I was asking. And, it would be one of those things where I want to be able to just set him loose in it, because I don't know anything about it. I don't know, that I struggled like Dave did with that thing that you gave us with the squirrel. And it took me forever to figure out. All I'm doing is linking those blocks. I didn't know that. So I'm pushing buttons all over the place and nothing's happening until I just happened to push the right button, and then there it went. So, so it would be just letting him go with it, because I don't know anything about this.
And the seriously, like, I went through the Minecraft educator, the teacher academy, and it was amazing, because my kids have always played Minecraft. I have been on more Minecraft creation tours than I care to remember, but I never played it or anything. And so it was fun. It was really cool, because they have a lot of good tutorials and a lot of good resources in there. So I would start that yourself, and then kind of bring your 11-year-old in.
All right.
Your 11-year-old will take over.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's kind of an explore. Like I said, Ty does have resources. We can set up trainings on any of this stuff. But the Minecraft one, I think, is just super fun. One last thing I wanted to touch on under the Flipgrid, and I forgot, is the Grid Pals. So you can do Grid Pals. So if you are wanting to, have a partner class somewhere, or have pen, like pen pals, you can do that. And that is one of the really cool things that I've seen with Grid Pals, is you can build those connections. So like foreign language, and basically anything. You can go in and find other educators who would like to connect. So I encourage you to go to look at that. If you're looking for, bringing in that community, Grid Pals is a super fun option. So I am now going to give you guys about 10 minutes to go back to page 1 of our resources. And so when you're on the regional training, and you go to home, you've got your planning documents. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms again. And so if you want to get together with your group, and just kind of talk about today and things you want to explore more, and that type of thing. And I will, like I said, give you guys about 10 minutes to do that. So questions or comments before I send you off into breakout rooms?